This intro has been so hard to film. I don't know, it's like my 5th time redoing it, but that's okay. Hi guys, welcome to my second channel. This is called Rhea, Rants. You can already kind of figure out this is a channel that I'll be talking about the books that I like to read, but also I'm focusing this on TV shows and movies that I enjoy watching too, but mainly in a sense that I love ranking things from TV and show and movies because I personally cannot create a video essay for my life. I got inspired by so many creators who talk about books, movies, and TV shows that I kind of wanted to join because, you know, in the end, YouTube is a space for everyone to share their opinions, everyone to share like things that they love to read and watch, and so that is the whole basis of creating this channel. But I'm so excited to be a part of the community and I can't wait to share my opinions with you guys. I do have some reading goals for 2023, but I'll give a recap on what I read in 2022. I had 20 books as my goal from literally July till December, and I read a total of 22 books, so I was able to go over my reading goal last year. And this year I set the goal to 30 just because I wanted to be a bit reasonable. I don't read way too much and I'm not the fastest reader, so going above 30 would make no sense. And so far I've read 5 books, so we're basically going into my January wrap-up. It was amazing that I was able to read 5 books. Oh yeah, back there you can see some of my books just like lined up on my windowsill. I have a lot more in a box because I do not have a bookshelf. So we have to improvise, okay? Do not judge me. But for now, let's go over the 5 books I read in January. Starting off, I decided to read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F***, and it was honestly so life-changing. I genuinely did not think a self-help book would really open my eyes to reality unlike this one. I know there's some mixed reviews about Mark Manson and this book, but honestly I feel like this was that tough brutality I needed to read because I never liked hearing it in person. My sensitive little heart back then was like, oh my god, it feels so harsh to hear. But now I'm like, okay, this actually makes sense. And I ended up just putting some post-it notes on pages that I feel like I need to personally go back to and reread because sometimes I just need a reminder for myself. And this book did it. And I think I might invest in some more self-help books now. It was truly life-changing. So I rated this a 5 stars. The second book I read was Matilda. I honestly had to reread this book again because I saw the movie musical adaptation on Netflix and I absolutely loved it. I think it was better than the first movie that came out by far. It just brought so many memories back, and I say this to anyone, you can read a book that is also meant for kids. I will once in a while pick up an easy book like this and just read it because this was one of my favorite books back when I was a kid. I loved Roald Dahl and any of his books really just stood out, but Matilda was my favorite one by him. It truly was a spectacular book about a little girl who has amazing abilities, so I obviously had to reread this again. It was so much fun. Can we just talk about this new cover? Like, this is iconic. I love this. I also love the original cover too, so definitely one of my favorites. This was a 5 stars as well, and I think everyone should be having a nostalgia read in their life. The third book I read was The Selection, and I wanted to start this series so bad because I read this in middle school. I absolutely loved it, but I never finished the series, and that is my problem. Like, I will sometimes start series, but I'll never finish them. So I have this, and I have the second book back there too, because I always hear good things about the series, so I'm like, okay, let's revisit it again. I gave it a 4 star, but I liked this for the way that it was, and I think the story just flowed very smoothly over time, and I finished this within like 2 or 3 days. The fourth book I read was As Old as Time, and I am a Disney fanatic. When I saw this and I saw that Disney had the whole Twisted Tales series, I just had to read it. And apparently this is one of the most highly rated books out of the Twisted Tales series. The whole thing behind this is, what if Belle's mother cursed the beast? throughout the whole thing. They literally bring you back in that same plot line of the movie, but they slowly add in that element of what if Belle's mother never was dead and she literally was the enchantress and caused the beast to be the way he was. One of the most rare times that I couldn't see a plot twist coming. So I did rate As Old as Time a 4-star rating, and I am very intrigued to see if I can pick up another Twisted Tales book. And then the final book I read for January was The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pan. I gave this book a 4 stars too, just because it was a good nostalgia book. And I think it was like my first time reading it because I only had watched the movies before, and the movies are possibly one of my favorite film series to ever watch. It just felt so great finally being able to read the book adaptation. It was so nice. It was like a breath of fresh air, and I love anything that's an ode to friendships. I'm still pretty new to this Booktube stuff, so if I didn't give way too much insight on the books, I am so sorry about that, but I will do a little better next time just because this is my first time really making a wrap-up video. It was really fun to film. As of future plans for this channel, I do want to do some tier ranking videos. So one of them first for different like book tropes, because I would love for you guys to get to know me as a reader, what I would challenge myself to read. And then in terms of like TV shows and movies that I like watching, I just will do tier rankings. I think they're so much fun, and it's the best way for me to give my take. Thank you guys for bearing with me for this first video. Before we end this video off, remember to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell so you can stay informed as to when I post. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.